We're back. Oh, yeah. You know, and when I say we're back, I mean we are back, as in multiple people, because it's not just me that is back. Stefan is back too. Welcome back, Stefan. I hope you had a good break. All right, guys, here we go. Hey, good to see you guys. I missed you. I hope you guys have been having a good... I took a week off, which in European vacation terms, like if I translate European to American vacation, that's like I took an 8-month sabbatical in American vacation time. But it was good. It was a good week. I hope you guys had a good week. And like I said, welcome back, Stefan. Stefan is back after a more, solid effort of, what was it, Stefan? You can comment. Was it 3 weeks off or 4 weeks off that you had? Whatever it was, I'm sure it was good. I hope you guys had a good week while we were off last week. I went hiking. I went into the redwoods and I went hiking around for 4 days, doing all sorts of trails and covering all sorts of, I think I actually calculated, I did my total mileage, which I'll go to kilometers for you guys. I think it was about 55 kilometers, which is like 35, 37 miles, something like that. It's good. Couple of days of hiking, all very good. So, listen, I want to bring on my guest pretty quickly. We have maybe a lot to cover. We're going to have to see, but I want to mention, before I bring her on, I've already mentioned, I'm not teasing the name. It's Olivia Broadfield. We'll say hi to her in just 1 second, but, she is a songwriter. We're going to be talking about songwriting. And one of the things we thought we could do if we have time is to kind of take a look at songs that you guys might have in the works. And preferably, she has requested that these are songs that you are aware of, things that maybe you want to either fix or you're stuck, so that if she makes suggestions, she doesn't sound like she's just, criticizing a song that you are in love with. So don't send the song you're in love with, because she may say mean things about it. She's a very mean lady. Okay, she's off to the side. I'm going to bring her on. Olivia, say hi. But so here's the key thing I wanted to let people know, though. There's a Dropbox link in the description, and Stefan, maybe you could throw it in the chat. If you want to throw in some songs that you're working on, preferably like WAV files, and then I could, if we get to that part, if we have time, then we'll bring some of those up and we'll take a listen to them. We'll get Olivia's input. But anyway, Olivia, hi.
That's the best intro ever. I am a mean person, actually.
Well, you know what you are, but you are, no, you're not mean. You're absolutely lovely, but you are honest. You're genuinely honest. Like it's funny. I've known you now, what, nine years.
Since I was 20.
That's right. I have, if I ask your opinion, you are going to give it. And
to be honest, even if you don't ask
that's actually probably true. But, and that's something I think actually is an undervalued trait in people that, you manage to give an honest take in a way that someone doesn't end up feeling bad. I mean, maybe people will learn this and maybe they'll disagree with me when you say your bridge is shit. but no, I think it actually is a skill to be able to.
When I talk about being Marmite, I don't even know who I'm talking to, because unless there's an English person watching right now, this is just falling on deaf ears. But Marmite is this Vegemite. No, I don't even know what you have. What do you have? Like, it's this weird yeasty paste.
In the States.
Yeah.
The closest taste I've ever felt to Marmite is soy sauce, which is, so if you add cornstarch to soy sauce, I think you get Marmite.
Anyway, the whole thing about Marmite is you either love it or you hate it. And people do call me Marmite, and that probably is because I'm so unreserved at sharing my usually horribly critical opinion about things.
Well, it's I for one welcome that. Hopefully other people will here too. I'm just keeping an eye on the comments already. See, I was telling you that the
What? I can't see the comments.
Now, you could if you wanted to load them on your screen.
Oh,
Do you want
we
to?
already had I don't know. Well, I've had. I don't even know how to do that.
We'll feed you questions as they come in. I'll periodically be responding to things in the comments, but you needn't worry about it. But
Okay.
so partially, here's the exciting thing about this stream. You were one of the first ever forays into streaming for me. Lo, those 9 years ago when you were 14. We did, so for people that weren't Reason users back then, in 2011, you corrected me, I thought it was 10. 2011, we did an event called Music Making Month. We did live streaming every day for a month, and we had artists on. It was
God, doesn't that sound tiring now you say it?
Oh, let me tell you, I do one of these a week. I'm tired. Yeah, it was tiring, but we made it work, and it's amazing to me that we did make it work because back then, we were using Ustream and GoToMeeting and Skype, and we were kind of piping it all in and doing this weird. It really shouldn't work, but we made it work. But that's when we first were, first introduced to each other and that's how you kind of came into the Reason community, as it were, sort of through that process, I think, right?
That is true. And then we ran that competition, which we did that.
Which we're still, you and I are probably still getting submission emails for.
Remember, I was the hand model for Balance. I mean,
that's right.
I don't know if enough was made of that, to be honest.
I mean, there are so many things people don't know, the number of Olivia cameos that might have made their way into videos and musically as well. I probably leaned on you a lot back then for some musical stuff as well. But now then there's a 9-year drought, and the world has been waiting for your glorious return to the Reason Studios stream channel, and here it is. So, is
anybody saying that they're welcoming this glorious return there on that chat?
There was somebody who posted an emoji of a dab. I think that
I don't even know what that means.
I'm not sure. I think that encompasses celebrating a glorious return. No, everybody's really excited to see you. Lots of exclamation points. Hi from Long Island. All sorts of stuff. Now they're just saying hi to each other. Oh boy. Bill Coupland though. Love Olivia, hate Marmite. Not you don't have a fan. Now there is
how that works then. Yeah, but go on.
That's right. Especially with it being your namesake. Michael Dugan says he did an Olivia remix like 8 to 10 years ago. There you go. So yeah, people that may not know, we had a remix competition using your song. Was it called Say? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you remember. Don't pretend you don't remember.
No,
that
but
is so strange.
I
made you listen to those remixes with me.
That's right. I forgot about that. You and I were the judging committee.
You devised some sort of algorithmic kind of listening portal that we could rate them on. I don't know if you remember this.
I do now.
From your mind, yeah.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah, it gave us 10 remixes at a time, I think, and we could listen to them, and then we could kind of rate them and fast track the ones that were like, oh, that's a contender.
We whittled that 800 down. It only took us weeks.
It really did. It took a lot of time. But oh my God, I would have totally forgotten about that. Well, Michael, that means we listened to your remix.
We did, Michael.
Assuming you didn't win, that means we
loved it. To be honest, the name, I love that remix.
Oh, the Michael Dugan remix, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who can forget that classic Dugan drop that he did?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
James Harris, we're glad to have Olivia. Wayne Carew gets right to the heart of it. He says, Olivia, what's your songwriting process? Well, funny you should ask, Wayne Carew.
God, how much do we pay Wayne to start off with that one?
I know. I think that's maybe Stefan's just ghost account.
Are we officially asking this now?
We could. I mean, so guys, here's what we kind of thought we would do. We really, I got to admit, we don't really have like a solid plan for this time together, but we're just gonna
backup squirrels. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Should we wait?
It's too early.
Okay.
Just to let you know, some backup baby squirrels back here, which are going to feature.
If things get slow and uninteresting to you guys, you can just start asking for squirrels, and Olivia will deliver. So yeah. So but we don't really have a solid plan. Here's what we sort of thought. Olivia has made if I say 15-year career out of songwriting. You started when you were 3. It's roughly a 15-year career though. You've made in
I would. You're aging me a little bit. I reckon 12. Go 12. I was thinking
12.
about it. 12, 12, 11, 12.
Okay. Out of songwriting, and not just songwriting, but like actually successful monetization of a songwriting career at a time and an era when that was all the talk was that, oh, the songwriter, the era of the songwriter is over, and people need to go out touring, and that's the only way musicians can monetize their life. And Olivia sort of said, "Challenge accepted," and
Yeah.
carved her own path. And maybe could you? I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here, but could you kind of give people a something of a rundown of places? Your bread and butter has come through music licensing, and so your stuff has appeared in TV shows the world over. What would be things people might have seen you in?
I don't know whether to start with the highest caliber or the lowest
Oh,
caliber.
definitely the lowest. What's the lowest? German dog food commercial?
A French dog food.
Oh,
commercial.
French dog food commercial. Okay.
No, actually, it was Caesar, and that is a quality dog food, so I was pretty proud of that one. I believe it was a song, and actually it wasn't one that I was singing. A song that I wrote appeared on Geordie Shore, which I'm nobody knows what that is, but it's the Newcastle equivalent of something like what was that reality show that hit MTV like later on with the guy who had like shaved hair and then a big like hairdo. It was like a big show.
You're talking about Kid and Play? Yo
No.
MTV Raps circa 1987?
No, it wasn't Real World. There was some other kind of maybe it was called something Shore or something Beach. There was some like MTV thing, and anyway, it was all very glamorous. And then they decided to do an equivalent in Newcastle, which yeah.
Oh, the Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Yes, and then
Thank you.
Yeah, so you had a song on the Jersey Shore?
No, I had a song on Geordie Shore, which is
Oh, I see.
with people from Newcastle. So yeah, they played a song that I wrote, so I had some distance from it. But yes, I had songs on, they probably sound like really old shows now, which is what's aging me. It all started off with The Hills, which is an MTV thing, and I got an awful lot of MTV stuff, Real World, Shot at Love, all these things.
That was back around the time when Jessica Simpson big upped you, right?
Oh yeah, Jessica Simpson tweeted about me. Oh no. And Perez Hilton, that was my giddy heyday.
Oh, wow.
And then I had Grey's Anatomy, Ghost Whisperer, the revamp of Melrose Place. I've had a lot of kind of CW stuff, Arrow, and I'm struggling to name them now. I had a song on a show recently, The Bold Type. That was one that I had recently. And then I finally got some work over here in the UK, because usually I can't make the UK like me. The BBC, of all places.
The BBC came calling. It only took them 12 years.
12 years. It only took till I was a has-been before they got interested, yes. The
Right.
British underdog thing.
But so that was an entire series, right? You did like all the main songs for, what was the show called?
It was called The Split. I think it did actually air in America.
Probably.
On Sundance TV.
Ah, I don't have that, so I can't watch it. But...
Yeah, you're like, no one's heard of that.
No, but that is a regular cable channel. So if people have
Yeah,
cable,
and it's a very big show here in the UK. It's got like I guess like Juliana Margulies was like a big TV actress, wasn't she? And like Ellen Pompeo was a big TV actress. So it's got one of our biggest TV actresses in, and some great actors. And it had Anthony Head from Buffy. There you go, something that people will have watched. He was in the first series, and yeah, I did the like Grey's Anatomy outro song for each of the episodes, and that was super cool. But yes, there've been adverts and bits and pieces like that.
And then you've also done co-writes with artists, sort of artist development type of co-writes.
Yeah, but I'm going to just say that I don't really like doing that. So I don't really like doing that.
Really?
So I stopped. Yeah, I stopped doing it.
You wrote some good songs.
I don't really like it though.
All right.
Because of the abrasive personality, it doesn't work too well when I'm in a room with other people.
I didn't say abrasive. I said honest. But yes.
I said abrasive.
Yes. Well, but it's I will say, through knowing you off on non-stream conversations, I did learn that is a different world with a different set of politics, and it's yeah,
it's it feels like, I'll talk soon, it'll be great. I feel like it's a slightly fruitless task probably a lot of the time. You know, you're writing for another artist. Is it going to make the record? Is that artist, who's probably someone newly in development, going to make it? Is it going to be? And you end up. I know this sounds terrible, but I ended up giving a lot of good songs to people that then didn't really do anything.
Right.
So, and then you're always be like, oh, I remember those songs that I just.
There is a song now in my head that was by an artist, and I won't mention it, but you wrote it, and it was a phenomenal song. And now after this,
I want to know what it was.
I know I'm gonna have to follow up with you.
Tell me later
after the stream. I actually want to.
But yeah, and that's and you've got very little control over it,
right?
And you have very little control over when you write your own stuff and you're singing your own stuff. But at least there is, you know, a platform for it. At least I can put it out. At least I can push it for TV, and at least I have some control. I think it's, you know, I think. For me, it would be very hard to be motivated to keep doing that, keep doing it, when reality, the number of cuts or the number of singles or the number of records you get.
Right. Now, I just have to jump in for a second. Michael Dugan in the comments has said, he's going back to his remix. Remember the old Dugan? I mean, who could forget?
Drop, yeah.
But he said, my remix was titled Urban Lumberjack, and I actually think I remember that title.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't, right? In fact,
maybe this, yeah.
Now, Michael, I'm going to, whether I'm right or wrong, and I'm definitely wrong, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to assign you an amount of credit that you definitely deserve. Olivia put out an EP that was titled Jumberlack. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was an album, but yes.
Oh, it was a full album?
Yeah. I write them occasionally.
You clearly, undeniably got that title inspiration from Michael.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I owe him something.
Clearly. Fractions of the penny that you got from streaming that album. What? That's not a dig on you. That's a dig on streaming royalties. So now, hang on. Push Button also says that his remix is still on SoundCloud, which makes me realize, guys, if you have a vintage era Say remix on SoundCloud, post it in the comments. We might just have to pull it up and visit
SoundCloud. You want to talk about somewhere you won't get monetized? Let's talk about SoundCloud.
Totally. My gosh. But anyway, so you've done all this writing. You've done writing with people. You've done writing on your own for your own purposes, and then you've done this TV writing, which often is a different type of writing. It's writing that is you're writing to a brief in a way. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed the first series, but I kind of had the second series ruined for me because I'd be like, "Hi, here's the last episode. You know, here's the final scene that you're writing for," and I'd be like, "Oh my god, what's happening in this episode?" And I haven't seen the rest of it. So yeah, I did get to watch all the episodes, and yeah, it was nice because, you know, when you ask about the process, what is the process of songwriting? There's like 17 that you might go to at any given point, depending on how you're feeling. But to have a visual, to have like a storyline already there for you, and you're being asked to reflect that in a song, that was kind of super cool, because for me it took out some of the head scratchy, where do I start with this kind of thing.
Right.
And you know, quite often they wanted kind of little segues into the song, so I got to do my other little thing which I like doing, which is kind of noodly, kind of classically piano-y bits kind of going into it and doing a bit of scoring for it as well. So it was super fun. And maybe I should say it was really hard work, but I found it super fun.
It's you know, the songs that you wrote for that, I mean, they don't feel sort of, they're not a put on. I mean, they're genuine. You're singing real emotions, just as if you were writing your own stuff. It doesn't feel like, oh, she's clearly channeling a kind of put on for this song.
No, it isn't. And it's, you know, like I said, it's a super well acted show, and we buy into these things. So it wasn't hard. And actually the characters in the show are a little bit like my own family, which made it even easier. And yeah, it wasn't, I don't know. It was just like the inspiration was. I mean, similarly, when you get into a room and you're writing with somebody else, it's going to be very unlikely that you're both writing about something which has happened to the both of you.
Right.
So there is an element where you're like, I wonder how that would feel. I wonder how it would be if this happened, and I wonder how it would feel if that happened. And
right.
You know, and it's kind of nice. It's a bit kind of escapist songwriting.
Right. As someone who dabbles in songwriting unsuccessfully, I look forward to a day when I finally reach a point where that's the case, and it's not just a slog of me sitting on the rhyming dictionary.
I think some people can get bogged down with like a song. And I mean, I remember I was talking the other day, and I said there was a guy when I used to do run little open mic nights and stuff. And he played this really beautiful song, and I was like, "It's a really beautiful song." And he's like, "Oh, I've been working on it for a year and a half." And I was like, "Oof." If it takes me more than about 35 minutes to write a song, I'm like, "Oh, done now. It's probably not a very good one." But I think people do get a bit. They're trying to make everything mean something, and that then chokes them up. And I think if you can, sometimes it's easier to just a bit like a sports person. You know, when they're just a tennis player's in the zone and the commentator says, "Oh, they're seeing this tennis ball like a football right now." You know, I think if you can relax and find a way to enjoy it, which is what working on the split did, because it was like, hey, you don't have to write about your own emotions here. You relax and then it becomes easier.
There's a singer-songwriter named Phoebe Bridgers who writes some really pretty songs. Her lyrics have a certain sort of just like that casualness you're talking about. She's not trying to write poetry. She's trying to just tell a story and kind of say things the way they happen. And so I just heard a clip. She's got a new song called Kyoto about when she's in Kyoto, Japan. And there's like a line that just kind of hit me where it was something like, I called you, last night in Kyoto, I called you from a payphone. Yeah, they still have payphones. It's like that little sort of thing. It's like, it's so lovely. It's so obvious. And that makes it so sort of almost not obvious to, I think, people who are expecting they're trying to be the next Jim Morrison or something.
Yeah, you can be more dialogue-y now. You can be more casual and just, like you said, but just rhyme it a bit.
That's what I saw an interview with Fiona Apple where she made her, I think she's a fantastic lyricist, but she said something like, well, I think of a word and then I think of a word that rhymes with it and I just figure out how to get from one to the other. And it's like, no, that's not that simple, but it is.
No, but it kind of is that simple. I mean, I've realised that it sounds a bit twatty to say like I get into a zone, but I've realised that I kind of almost get into this slightly dissociative state where I probably start playing the piano and that's my focus and I'm like, oh, this is nice. And I just start singing any old whatever really.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice. And sometimes when I listen back to songs, I'm a bit like, oh, that's a bit painful, isn't it?
Oh, right.
And I'm not really with it when I'm doing it. So it's a bit like kind of daydream, I guess. So I just kind of get lost in what the piano's doing and then focusing on the melody, and sometimes the lyrics become a bit like a stream of whatever dark things are lurking in my mind, and then I come back to listen to it and go, ooh.
Right.
It's sad, isn't it? So, yeah, I think if you can just let go a little bit.
There are some practical questions that are coming in.
Yes.
First of all, a question before the practicalities. I think they're leapfrogging off the Marmite here. They want to know how you feel about Nutella. So maybe we should.
I don't have a sweet tooth, and I feel like I can have a smidgen of Nutella probably on a whole piece of bread, and that's okay. But,
all right.
Yeah, I know
it's for the best.
Isn't it just mainly sugar?
It's just pure sugar.
They pretend that those hazelnuts are going in there, but
we know. But the other question, it gets into a little bit more of the practicalities here. And
how do you make Nutella? Is that what it is?
Exactly. Could you do us a favor? Could we just watch you Google that for us? Well, and then that's all the time we have, guys. Good luck making Nutella. No, it's a songwriting question, and so maybe we should sort of dive into your process a little more, and not only speak in the abstract, but speak in the practical. Their question was, do you write melody first, or words first, chords first? Like, where does the song start coming from? And in order to, maybe we should even almost kind of demo that in some way.
At this piano? Something like that?
The chord you played is perfect already.
Yeah, it can be various ways. I mean, it's... I wrote a song the other day, which I was kind of playing to you. And I've just come up with that little chord pattern.
Yeah.
And what I found myself doing lately is it's a really simple way of doing it, but I sing what is in what I played. So I sang, it's late and I feel that you're breaking, it's hard.
But wait, now play the.
Fight.
It's very pretty, but play just the piano part again. So the notes are in there, but I actually, when you play it on its own, I hear a different melody as the kind of dominant thing. You've actually.
I think I'm singing a harmony on top of it.
Yeah.
So late. No, I am singing it. It's late and I feel that you're breaking. It's hard.
Yeah, it's in there, I guess. Yeah.
And I did it with the song for the split as well. I came up with this. Oh, I'm gonna fucking remember to play it. So it's just a simple little riff.
Right.
And then rather than trying to overcomplicate it, I just sang, I didn't sing it down there. I might have transposed up a little bit. That was it. I waited for too long, and I held my breath so strong, and I'm gonna call things off. And I took what was there. So it's something new that I've been doing is coming up with a nice piano thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'll just sing what I played. And actually it kind of works nicely because I don't know why it works nicely, but it seems to be something that I'm doing lately. And I quite like it.
Now I'm going to, it's okay if you don't have your entire catalog memorized to give me the perfect example of this, but is there a song that you know from the old style of writing where your melody was trying to be something in
clever?
Yeah, I guess clever in contrast to what the piano was doing rather than in sympathy with it.
This is just my thinking time. This is where you.
Okay. Oh yeah. Right. Okay. I'll check. I'll check in on the comments, but you're probably gonna find it hard to not listen to me while you think.
To be honest with you, probably the ones that were written on guitar. She says then immediately going, none of these guitars are going to be in tune. Where is the actual guitar that I play? The actual guitar that I play is in the house, classic.
All right.
Probably the more like jangly. So what chord is that? Yeah, I think it's that chord. Just to find out. I'm thinking of Call Love, which was just like a minor chord, but it was like, I get a beat that's in the heart, a little stutter from the start that's got me begging you for more, 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 more. And that was at complete odds to what was happening, which was just. And it was just like holding.
But on guitar in a nice way. It wasn't like.
Yeah. I can't remember what chord. A little stutter from the start that's got me begging you for more, more. And it really was just like one chord. So sometimes the freedom of that, I try and I do various things, but sometimes if you're just playing like one chord, you're going to have to do something a bit mental with the melody or do something a bit more interesting with the melody.
Right.
Whereas if you do something more intricate on the piano, it's okay to follow it. I mean, this song, I always joke that I play the piano like a cow because my hands are always just like this, like little cloven. So that was, I don't know how to say stop before you do, and I don't know where I should.
Right.
Now that's all quite in the same place, and I think there's only 3 chords throughout the whole song. So there you've got to go more places with the melody.
Yeah, because if you were to write the modern Olivia melody over those chords, it would be just kind of.
I was playing the piano. No one's gonna listen to that.
That reminds me, you were the person who blew my mind when you pointed out at the time "Teenage Dream" by Katy Perry. You were like, "It's all one note." I was like, what? It's like a really catchy chorus.
It's a one note.
It's like, no, it's one note.
It's a one note. Yeah.
I
think also California Girls is also, it's a classic, if Max Martin was writing all of those, classic Max Martin thing. California Girl, undeniable, the key. It's a lot of, it's a very modern pop, which if you were to score that, you'd be like, oi.
Now, do you, to take a quick diversion here just for a second, if you are writing, let's say you do have a writing brief that you're kind of trying to work to, or you're just feeling in a pop mood, will you kind of dip into those trends as a tool?
I don't know if I'm ever that conscious when I mean, I've probably written poppier songs, and probably like Call Love was a poppier song. I'm not, I tend, because I'm quite dour and miserable on the chords that I play on the piano, there probably are pop melodies within that, and I'm just ruining it by playing a load of minor chords underneath it. There probably are kind of poppy, catchy melodies within it. I think probably what I am aware of, and I know I've spoken to you about this before, is that you've got to mix things up. You know, if you were, I'm going to do a visual.
Oh my gosh.
What?
It's like, now I feel like you brought that pad and paper here just to,
I know.
Just to
Well,
wow.
it's going to look like Morse code, but just go with it. So if your verse is very elongated, very drawn out, you know, and it's going to be a terrible visual, and I'm not even going to show it to you properly now.
What? No, you have to show it.
But if there was like a graphics like score of how your verse is, and it was very like, oh, what? It was very like long notes, and it was all very long. Look at that, guys.
I like the idea that you could. There's no way you could describe that in words. That has to be visualized.
But I'm just talking about rhythm here. So this is like a rhythm.
Yeah.
So if you've got quite a slow, kind of drawn out rhythm, what I then try and do, I'm not even going to carry on with the drawing if you're going to mock it, because it's going to get good.
No, I want the drawing. No, you are invested in the drawing, and it is happening. I will end this stream right now.
Well, that would probably suit everybody. No, I am. But then I've got to carry on.
Yeah.
So then what you have to do is, if you're going to do like a pre-chorus, you've got to mix it up. You've got to then like go for lots of little sharp, little dashy bits like this. What? So what? You can't even see it. That light is so.
The light's working against you.
This light is working against me. It's not making me look younger at all. So yeah, the idea being that if you have something which is very drawn out and long melodically, you're going to have to change that at some point. You're going to have something which not speeds up, but speeds up in terms of the way you, I mean, like a classic example is Lost in You. Let's go for a really old song of mine.
Okay.
It's, let's try and get it in the right key. Oh, hang on. Feeling I get. Close the door, make no noise, keep it a secret. And it's all quiet, I can't help thinking we only just met. And because it was not easier to close my eyes, where they're taking a bit of it inside. Basically like an Ed Sheeran rap. I was way ahead of my time.
That's absolutely true.
So that was what it was like. So I got away in the verse with going, this is going to go so high for in the evening. But I'm lost in you, I'm lost in you. I'm not singing properly, guys, just so you know. But you see how drawn out it is. So I'm playing the same chords, and that's actually quite an interesting exercise in order to learn how to play with the rhythm of melody, is limit yourself and say, I'm going to have a song where it is just 3 chords. That is A minor, G, F, transposed over. The whole entire song.
Yeah.
And then that gives you the freedom to go, okay, I'm now going to see if I can create that structure of verse, a pre if you want one, and chorus with that tie of I'm playing the same chords. Because then you start to understand that, and this is the problem, you know, the reason community I'm saying everybody, but the majority is people that write kind of these backing tracks and these, you know, and they become very kind of chord progression obsessed and probably are trying to do all sorts of crackers things with the chords. And then if they try to top line it, they'll go, what the hell? You know, this is going to turn some sort of like Thelonious Monk weird top line.
Right.
So if people rein themselves in when they're writing those backing tracks, if they're like, I'm going to use 3 chords or 4 chords and that is it.
We did a live stream a few weeks ago where I was talking about chord progressions with people, and that was one of my points, is that the in the songwriting process, the chord progression is not where you need to shine and own some new.
No.
You don't need to carve new territory. You can.
No.
Now that being said, though, your chords are really pretty, and so you're not. Hey, but I mean, there's something to like. I guess this is somewhat of a piano thing, but there's something to the choice of the way that your cloven hoof.
I'm gonna do my cloven hoof. I'm just gonna do that.
Okay. Right. Yep.
So what I try and do is, rather than let's just say an A minor. So if I was to play A minor and I was to go for probably the classic way that people play an A minor, they're just going to shove in. Let me actually make it the A minor. They're going to shove an A down there, and they're going to just go for the triad. That's nice. That's emotional. You feel emotional, right?
I'm tearing up.
But
we know that's not true.
Man, 96 was the last time. So that is obviously how a lot of people would play it. But what I try and do, it's very rare that I will just play the 1, 3, and 5 of a chord. I'll try and shove something else in, and quite often I'll try and change what the rooting is doing. So I usually play an A minor with a G on the bottom of it, just to add that kind of 7th thing, but I don't play the 7th like that. I tend to shift things down more often than not. So like a classic way for me to play a D is this.
What's that?
I tend to group things together. Again, that's got a G in it.
Hang on.
So I put a lot of 4ths and a lot of 2nds and a lot of 7ths, but I don't necessarily put them in that order.
I'm translating this over to guitar for anyone who's not playing piano as well, just to see how this works.
So I'm playing a D, I'm playing an A, I'm playing an F sharp, a G, an A, and a D. You might struggle to do that on a guitar.
I'm not going to attempt it, but the key is that you're rooting the chord with a G in the bass.
No, not on that one. No.
So which one are you talking about?
That one, I'm shoving a G in. So rather than playing a D like this, I'm playing it like this.
Oh,
So and I tend to, in the top hand, I tend to take the D off. I tend not to root it to the D in the top hand. It's very rare that I ever play a chord with what it is. So I would never play a C like that. I would always play a C like that.
Wait, now what?
G. So I play G, C, E. It doesn't really work on piano and guitar.
It doesn't work in the same way, but
similarly, like I've occasionally I'll play a C chord with an E rooting. That's quite a nice one. I'll play a G chord with a B rooting.
Right.
That's a pre-chorus trick of mine. It's a nice A minor, G with a B in the chorus, C. But again, look at how I played C. I played C with a G, a C, and a D. So
it's all going so fast. I want everyone to gather all this stuff. Wait, hang on. Hold that thought.
Don't play a triad. Don't do it.
Yeah. So I think that actually is the key thing here is that if people want to apply just this technique alone when they're looking at chords and playing chords on piano, the tip would be to not play a 1-3-5 triad.
Don't do a 1-3-5 triad. It's going to work for some music, but if you want to get something, since you have led into this by saying I do beautiful chords, thank you, then that's, sometimes I'll play a chord and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. So for instance, the beginning of Happening, which is, if you're a big Olivia Broadfield fan, which 4 people are, then that is very much the beginning of Happening. And it's the oddest chord. It's an A and an E in the bass. So I'm doing like a 1 and a 5 of an A minor. But then I'm playing basically a C.
Sounds like a sus2 chord or
something?
something?
Well, it's kind of like a G with a sus4. It's a C with a sus2. So it's a C with a D in, or it's a G with a C in, whichever way you want to see it. But then I shove it to being an F, a G, and a C. And what the hell chord is that? It's not. It's just, I don't even know. If I played that into something, I don't know what chord it would tell me that it is. But that's what I do, is I take out the... that's how Happening would sound if I played it. No. You know what I mean? Like, take out... No triads. I don't want to hear triads. If somebody sends me a song with triads in, I'm going to be mad.
So when we're listening to songs, and we listen to songs at the end of this stream, and there's triads in it, look out, guys. She's going to be, just ruthless. But that is I think something interesting. We had a guest on our stream, and he has pretty chords too. His name's Koichi Sanchez, and Koichi, you've got the best chords, Koichi. And
I've got a pretty name as well, Koichi Sanchez.
I know, right? And I'm noticing there's a similarity. He could probably agree or tell me I'm wrong in more actual music theory detail, but it feels like there's a similar hollow quality to what you're doing. Like, so much music is about tension, and I guess that's at the heart of what we're talking about. Is the triad robs us of the tension.
Yeah, if you take out some of those, I'll stay down here while I'm playing the chords. If you take some of those out, another song that I was writing the other day, I'm in the right key. The chorus, I have to remember how it goes. So what I did here was I played a C. It wasn't a classic triad, but it was actually just a pure C. I didn't chuck anything else in there. It's the first chord of the chorus. I'm okay with the triad notes in the first chord of a chorus. Just don't do it as 1-3-5. Do it 5-3-1 or something. You know what I mean? So I played that. I kept the rooting on the C, but I played an F with a G. It's never going to be a normal F. Let's just take that for granted. I then played that, but I keep the rooting the same. That's another nice thing, is change what this hand's doing, change as much as you can with this hand, but see what it's like if you keep the rooting the same. It gets some really beautiful places. And then what I did, and it's probably going to sound weird, these walls, they don't break it down. I didn't know they were mine till you shut me up. These things that I'm crying about is how it went.
Yeah.
And what I did there was I had essentially an F, and I shoved a B as the melody note. That is splitting the octave in half. It sounds horrible and discordant. You would probably never naturally go there if you were thinking about what you were writing, because it's such a horrible discordant interval.
Yeah.
But it totally works when you are leaving that space and you haven't got the triad. So I'm sure if I was to do that with a triad, I've not done this before, so it'll probably just work, and I'll go, that's not worked as an example. These walls that are breaking, walls that are breaking. See how much it changes it?
Yeah.
It's just one note.
Do it again.
Breaking.
There's no tension anymore. It's just, yeah.
You leave that space away from that note. So that's why I end up playing the piano like this, because I'm just leaving space. And actually, another thing that I do is I play the piano an awful lot here. So middle C, and I very rarely get above middle C.
Really?
When I play the piano, I've just realised I'm always down here.
It's I'm sure there's people that would thank you for that. I know a lot of times the complaint on keyboard players is that the bass players are like, hey, you're in my territory. And the guys that, I don't know, I'll say mandolin just because it's a good example.
You see, like up here, like, I sound like, I was going to say such a British person, I won't, it would mean nothing. But it's like a really kind of like very 80s.
Oh yeah, Peter Cetera. It's got like a Karate Kid 2 soundtrack.
Do you know what I mean? It's very, I stay away from up there, because up there is where I want the voice to be. So that's the thing, give space to the different things. That's what I try and do.
Now there's a thought process here too. There's some people out there that might not be writing their top lines, but there's something for them to consider as well, which is I interviewed these producers named Mike and Keys. They've done a bunch of big stuff, and Nipsey Hussle's record being their Grammy noms, but they were telling me something actually I'm probably going to cut it up and put it out, guys, because it's a really good clip for like a deleted scene that you guys should all see. They were talking about their process and how when they're trying to write a beat that will go to an artist, they have to be mindful of where the artist is going to fit in when they give it to them, because they said it took them a long time to realize they were having people, because no artist will say, oh, I couldn't figure out where I fit in, so no thank you. They'll just say no thank you. And so they were getting beats rejected, and then after a while they're like, wait, maybe it's because we've occupied their territory. In the absence of their top, we're trying to just make a full sound, but we had to learn to like carve out the area where they're going to go so that when they hear the song, they know their lane. And so it sounds like even what you're suggesting is if people are writing songs for collaboration, they can still think about that where is the vocalist? If I'm working with a female vocalist, all the more reason to kind of keep that top end open and
keep that top end, because then it just the voice cuts through, and usually, regardless of the kind of music that you're doing, you do want the voice to cut through. I mean, like for me, it would be so alien that I would fully produce a song and then be like, let me think about that top line.
Right.
For a songwriter, that would never happen. It's like the reverse. Like you might get a little melody and then go, oh, where's that little melody going? Oh, what's going here? Or you might just get a nice, chord sequence and go, oh, where's the melody going on top of that? But it's so alien. And when I was doing the kind of co-writing thing, and there was a time that I was speaking to a publishers over in America, and they were like, oh, we really like your top lines, can we send you some stuff? And they did, I think it was like Jason Derulo's label or something. It was something that you would not think would be a fit with me, but they liked what I was doing, so they were sending me this basically like Jason Derulo music, and it was hard to top line to, because it was like they hadn't really thought about the chords. They were just making something that sounded like a nice instrumental piece. And that is the difference when somebody says, oh, I write these, I think they could be songs. You've really got to be writing them thinking that they're songs. Even if you don't have the capacity to know what the top line is, but you want it to have a top line, even if you're getting, maybe like a saxophone would be a good instrument. A tuba, maybe, Ryan.
Thank you. That I was hoping we were going to make that suggestion.
Yeah,
yes.
Ryan and I, when I was working on something, I sent it to Ryan and I was like, hey, do you want to have a little play at producing this? And Ryan, guys, he put a tuba on.
And I think I only suggested a tuba.
No, I think you put it on.
I think now that you remind me, I think I did put it on.
And I was immediately gone, get that the hell out of there.
Might I, just in case people are thinking, no, but tuba is a nice texture. I didn't just put a tuba on. I believe I did put the kind of the oompa tuba.
Oh, you really did. It was like...
I didn't do the walk up.
Are you sure?
Now, to harken back to the original things, this is one of those moments when Olivia was she didn't mince her words in telling me what she thought of it, and she was right, and that's why I value your opinion, because the minute...
I feel like nobody is sending us music for me to critic now that you critique.
Oh, yeah, we should look. Let's see. We won't get to it now, but let's see if there's stuff in there. I know, I set it up as like, Olivia's going to crush your dreams.
Yeah, and
live
someone's bought into that, surely.
There's probably people that are... Oh, whoa, we got stuff. Although it looks like 90% of it is a guy named James Harris. So James, you'll probably just get one. Yeah, but we got some stuff. We can check it out.
Okay.
But yeah. So I was gonna say, this is just while we're derailed here for a second. There was a comment I wanted to kind of flag out on the stream itself. It was a good comment from I've seen this guy in the comments and forums for so long, and I don't pronounce his name right, probably Navi Retlav or Navi Retlave. Tell me how I should be saying that. But anyway, he said,
tell me by typing rather than just retyping.
You can type phonetically, like if it's navy, it's like naval.
You'd have to go to Wikipedia to know how to type.
No, you could say, like, if it's navy, then you would type like the navy, like the Navy navy, and I'd go, oh yeah, navy, got it. But if it's Navai, then you'd say it's like Stevai, and I'd be like, oh right, okay. Come on. I don't know. My point is...
Squirrel?
Squirrel. I need a buzzer. Just like pull the ripcord. Squirrel. No, he had a comment about a trick that he finds useful, and other people might find useful if they're falling into habits on a piano of playing similar chords. He said that he switches...
Oh, I'm doing this. I'll listen as well. Go on.
He says he switches to a controller with smaller keys, and it literally makes his fingers fall different places on the keyboard, and so there you go.
I feel like the opposite is true for me. That I need to get a big,
really?
It's just a weird, ginormous keyboard.
You have to go lengthwise in your room.
I remember when Mariah Carey said she had something like a 5-octave range or something, and I was like, she absolutely does not.
I think she does.
What?
I think that's true.
That?
I mean, That does sound.
He says a lot of stuff.
I mean, I believe that she can go to that top one. I don't believe she can go down to that low one. Yeah, well, she can squeak that stuff out. So, anyway, so now, dare we, just like watch the process happen of making a chord progression? Can I ask that of you? Can you make us a chord progression? Here's what I would love to do. I would love for you to fumble through some chord progressions, good enough, doesn't have to be your next big hit, and then sort of explore how you might throw the top on that. You don't have to get to lyrics because now I'm going to be asking too much, but maybe we will. We'll see. Oh, we're going there. I don't know if we are, but so
let's say we take this isn't an interesting way that you can, you could try something. So if we take obviously not a triad. Imagine it was like, let's just take a triad.
Now keep it real simple. Just 1, 3, 5, guys.
Right. So if we take, we're going to take an F sharp. I won't transpose it because I want to confuse people. If we take an F sharp and an A, I don't know if people are sat at their pianos right now. I like to think they are.
Everybody is sat at their piano. Yep.
Around the world.
100%. Should I be by my piano off to the side here?
Please do. Yes. So we've got an F sharp and an A. Now, let's put it out to the masses as that. If I'm playing, I'm just going to play an F sharp and an A because I've just done that whole War and Peace thing about don't use a triad. So obviously that's a D, and I've just missed the D off. So I've got an F sharp and an A. So sun's coming out here in UK. PS.
Oh, it's can help your light.
Oh yeah, 23 now. So I've got an F sharp and an A. Would somebody on the forum like to shout out what they think could go to complete that chord in the routing on an F sharp and an A? Anybody? I can't see this.
Okay, now this year you're going to love this part. There is a 40-second latency. So now you and I would just sit like we're in an elevator awkwardly for 40 seconds.
I'm going to get the squirrel. Let's just get a squirrel for 40 seconds.
So F sharp and an A, your question is suggestions for what people throw into the comments. Mowgli is saying, oh, wait a second. If we're really getting a squirrel.
We got time for...
Guys, look at this. How many studios have a baby squirrel in arm's reach? I say not enough. Oh my God.
Not enough.
What now? Okay. What is his or her name?
This is Tulip. This is the famous one. I think it's Tulip.
Mowgli says...
Yeah, this is Tulip.
Mowgli just commented, quick, grab some Marmite. I hope he doesn't mean to eat the squirrel. What is that?
The squirrel? Let's talk about how... Yeah.
Can we, thank you. Can the comments back me up? The word is pronounced squirrel. Olivia seems to believe the word is pronounced squirrel.
I do not.
Which you can't say without making weird...
It's squirrel, which is how you say it. Squirrel, like Tyrrell, like...
Tyrrell? What is Tyrrell?
I don't know. That's a name. Tyrrell. We have these crisps here called Tyrrells. Squirrel.
Oh, Joe Gerges, how is this happening? A squirrel. He blew his mind there. Now, I don't want to let some of these comments fly by without mentioning. So,
right, yeah.
Suggestions. We're going to go back to those squirrels. Though. Suggestions in the comments. Mowgli says B as his suggestion, and Yush says G as a suggestion.
Right, so let's just try those. Let's see what people's suggestions are. So I've just done the F sharp and the A.
Caleb says C. So I think people are going to start throwing out A flat, E.
No.
There's only 12 guesses, so.
They were all good suggestions. So let's go with we've got the G. Now, this person is talking my language because that's the chord that I
Yush. All right.
So immediately you've got that yumminess and you've got a lot of space there for something to be doing something up here. So I'm approving of the G. Whoever said that.
Yush. Yeah. Okay. Good deal.
So now somebody else has suggested B. Now, if they're suggesting B major, well, I wasn't okay with that.
You literally were startled.
It's going very 1960s if I start off a chord with that. But that kind of turns it into like a B7 type vibe, which I'm not into.
Okay.
If I take away the D sharp quality, it's a little bland. Who suggested that?
That was Mowgli, I think. B? That's Mowgli.
It's got place in the song, you know, if we have the G, and then maybe
Maybe when he wrote B, maybe he was starting to spell out bland and he just hit submit too soon.
And then somebody else said A.
C.
C. Okay. I'm sure somebody said A. Okay, but okay.
I don't think so.
So if they want a C, no. Back to school, no. So
oh, Caleb.
these are all very kind of they're the segue chords. They're the kind of suspension.
Yes, so that would actually be useful in the context of a different progression, but
maybe leading into some sort of.
It's almost got a sort of diminished transition kind of vibe,
Yeah.
right?
So as you can tell, I made no bones about the fact that the G was where I was enjoying. So I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay. It resonates with you. We got to go with G.
Great.
Okay.
So now I'm going to suggest to people. I mean, let's don't put it all on me. Let's be interactive here. Let's have that. Let's work that 40-second lag as much as we can. Okay. So if we're doing this kind of D thing and a G down the bottom, bravo, nobody actually suggested D.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Nobody suggested it. It was the obvious answer.
But no, but weren't they kind of listening to you in a way by not being too triad obvious?
They were.
Yeah.
Because that is the D. Now, this is a nice place to start. If we're starting there, I would say to people, hey, where are you going to start the top line? Anybody got any suggestions about what note? What note do you want to hear above that? So we're doing this.
Oh, man. I wonder if people can make suggestions like that.
They can. Somebody could just say a note. I mean, they could.
Well, I guess they could just guess a note, but
just say a note and we'll have a go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will let other people do it. If people have an instrument, it might help, or if they've got reason.
So for me, you can either pick a note that we're already playing. This is a very obvious way of starting to pick a note. So
yeah,
I'll
but
guide it until
not without reinforcing the idea.
Yeah. So I think a nice place is the F sharp. I would so this is a nice place to start it, I think, and then I might sing something like this, and then we go to the D.
So you wait. So you hang on. So that means, am I correct in saying that you're on the right hand? You're staying in D, and you're just changing the chord on the low end to resolve the tension.
Yes, that's it. So I'm keeping that F sharp and that A again with these guys, and I'm playing the G to start it off with, and I just went to the D. As nobody suggested it, and it's obviously the resolve, I went to the D. So if you started off the melody, this is how it'll sound, it's kind of like this, it's got that nice space, and then we can end it like this.
Yeah.
Right? So that's...
I gotta say, it's rather Ben Gibbard, Death Cab for Cutie, kind of circa transatlanticism.
Listen to a lot of that, so that's just a happy accident. If we were to pick, I'm sorry if it's bad that I don't listen to Death Cab for Cutie.
They'll forgive you.
Let's try another note just to see. We're doing this so people can understand how melodies work with things. So we've also got G. This doesn't work, even though it's there in the chord.
No, wait, no.
No, it does not work.
But couldn't you? I'm gonna have to now sing and make weird. But couldn't you use that as a quick departure? Do 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 do.
I was
yeah.
You could use it as a quick departure.
Okay.
But it's definitely It's not that it makes it sound like I can't sing.
Okay.
I was all alive, let it be light. So that's the F sharp. Obviously, the other option you've got is the A. It just gets to the place where I start to sing a bit operatic. A was so darling. Also nice.
Yeah.
You could go down the bottom, but then it gets to... unlike Mariah Carey, guys, there's a 7-note range here.
She's a 5-octave range. You have a 5th range.
I have a 5-note range. It's on my CV. Particularly when I haven't warmed up or anything. So you could be down here, and that's kind of nice, and you got that round and you still end it on this. So you could be very down there with it. So
now I noticed something there. What was it? What is the note? That's an A. You said.
That was a G.
Oh, you're.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, that was the A. Sorry.
Because you did a thing where when you resolved it, you stayed on that. You Max Martin'd it. Wait,
I went down to the F sharp.
You went up again.
You could stay on it. I mean, we could do the Max Martin thing. We could stay on this note because it's interesting, because we're playing a nice chord, and we'll get away with it. But maybe we should change it on the end. Right?
Right.
So, I mean, is that how that woman that you're talking about, she writes her
Yeah.
lyrics?
I think she's going to be contacting you with a copyright strike.
But you get what I'm saying. So you don't have to be, if we were going to do that and be that kind of mono there, it gives massive amounts of space as to where else we go. Or you stay up here, but as you can see, I was still kind of staying on the same note because there's lots of space and it's an interesting place to be. And there's more things you can do, but that, don't rule out staying kind of in the same place. Particularly for verses, don't feel like you've got to have massive intervals or massive jumps because you're kind of giving away your hooks.
Now,
your hooks are going to be those bits.
That is so, hang on, hitting the brakes, like shining a neon light, that is such a major little knowledge drop that you just tossed out casually.
See, I just think that's normal, but okay.
No. So wait, we're going to dwell on that and just to make sure everyone drills this. And I've told people in streams in the past, like, if this is the one thing you walk away from, let it be this. Because what you just said is particularly, I think that was the word you used, if you're working on verses, you don't write a lot of interval leaps. And the reason you don't write a lot of interval leaps is because, in your words, you are giving away your hooks. My God, there's like,
the response to this is phenomenal. Is Donald Trump tweeting about this right now?
I may be the only one who finds that to be such a fantastic articulation of a complex artistic process.
I mean, if you wanted to challenge yourself, you could almost set yourself that I can only go to the note next door kind of thing. Because that is quite a good way to. So, I was bacon, I was born, and, like, I was saying the. I mean, that is just going down. That's obviously just going down.
But I've never heard it articulated like that. And it's obviously, there's exceptions to the rule and all that, and this maybe not even isn't maybe not a rule. But the idea that verses tend to be, they're restrained so that your hooks have punch, and one of the ways, and maybe one of the key ways that your hooks can have punch, is through interval jumps. That's such a neat encapsulation of like
I said, if you keep it simple, particularly if you're then going to beef it up with production afterwards, which I know a lot of you guys will want to do, you keep it simple. So I mean, chuck it, that's just a third. Like, I'm not saying don't have any sort of intervals, but I'm saying don't have any massive major big leaps there. So already you can kind of sketch something that might be happening to the melody. And me personally, that would be my verse. So I'd be, staying somewhere around here, and I was with people and save my soul. Maybe something like that. Maybe you just flick in that little.
I'm already hearing words kind of peek in there.
I think I said Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. Oh, it's a song about Flavor Flav.
Emma said, what's the word Emma says? It's not a word. And it's
gleba. Gleba. Stefan should know that, yeah.
I believe I just said gleba about it, yeah. It's like there I just sang something about out of line, just because it fitted. And it might be something that I jot down. So something just falls out my mouth and I'm like, something was out of line.
Right.
And I might just jot it down. So sometimes it's nice to end it, give it that space, because we are still in the verse.
Right.
This is a journey,
Okay. Now, can I ask where
would we
go?
Would we go to a pre-chorus?
Yeah, do we?
Do we?
Now,
do we? So many in-jokes on this. People are like, well, these two are weird. So now we could look at going to a pre-chorus. So whether this is you, Ryan, or whether we do the enjoyable 40-second thing while I just noodle around and see if I can get in.
Yep.
Where would we feel like we should go for that pre? We've just ended on essentially what's a D. That's a whole triad right there. So that's a D. We've ended on a D. We've done a bit of noodling. We want to go to a pre. We want to start the idea now that this is going somewhere. We've been very restrained. We're going to go somewhere with it.
Okay.
Where do people think we should go?
Well, now, is it simple? So that's the question for the chat. Guys, throw it out. Where should we go? But
we've just done a D. We've just basically done like a G and a D, and that's our with funny Broadfield routing-y things. We've done a G and a D.
Can I suggest my personal suggestion might be that we're going to go up in pitch a little bit on the chord tonality, and we're going to go to the 4 chord, some version of it.
A.
I guess that would be A. Yes. No, that's a 5. That's a 5.
G.
That's a 5.
That's
G.
G. It's G. We've already done G. So
we can't. Oh, okay. I'm out.
Done,
Okay. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna throw out a different one. What about B minor?
B minor shows more potential, right? So this is going to be my verse just because I can remember how it goes. I was in another line. I was always out of line. There you go. There's just got out of line in there. And I would tie. And Ryan wants to go here. Nice.
Okay, now
it's a good option.
Night Shift, who actually is Koichi, the guy you said had a nice name. Koichi's
the Night Shift.
Yeah, the Night Shift.
I feel like the Night Shift did a remix.
Oh, I think he probably did. Koichi, did you do a Say remix years ago?
Yeah, I think Koichi did as well.
He said B minor. Koichi's great. He said B minor as well. Yes. I'm seeing some other suggestions. Matt Hammond says E minor 9. Can we throw jazz at you there a little bit?
E minor 9. Okay. So we've done. Oh, hang on. And he wants us to go to an E minor with a. I would put the second in because my hand's not big enough.
Ooh. Matt Hammond.
What? I don't know which one I like more now. So we've done that. People are going to have to vote on it.
We might have to get, people might start chiming in here. Now I'm going to throw another one at you. We'll give 3 options. Mowgli has a somewhat interesting, maybe, it's going to be different, C major.
Okay, yeah. He wants us to go. I'm going to play a funny C major.
That's
fine.
I
am. Oh no! For me, no.
Doesn't work for you. Okay.
Not it wouldn't be something I would.
It's not what you would do. I could see it working though. So Mowgli, don't worry. This is not for Olivia.
I can hear it, but to be honest, my mind instantly says that that's middle 8, and
oh,
yeah.
We probably won't get that far, but I'll say maybe we'll get there. Let's hold that thought. Okay,
so we've either got the option of going to the B minor.
The B minor.
Baby, so I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sing the same melody, and I'll play the 2 different chords.
Okay, and guys in the chat, start chiming in with your preferences.
Oh, but do you know what I've just realised?
Yeah.
I've not put the charger for the laptop, so everybody just discuss. I know I failed completely.
Go get the charger. Go get it. Go get it. Go.
People need to decide.
Just go.
Cover me.
Okay. Olivia will be right back. I'll let you guys know while Olivia's getting her charger. The fact that we got this technologically off the ground, we had set up in an entirely different location for this stream today. And then Olivia realized that there was a little bit of a double booking for that space in terms of her house and people that needed it. So she ended up switching. We went to she's got a couple different studio spaces in the house. She went to a different studio space. Then we came down to her main studio space. It's been a lot. But I guess in that process, we lost her computer charger. So Yohani says these are Joni Mitchell chords. I could see that. I see what you mean, Yohani. Yeah. So just so people know what we're doing here, when she does get back, we are going to be listening. She'll give us, we've got 2 chords that we could go to here. We've got an E minor 9, courtesy of Matt Hammond. We've got a B minor, courtesy of, I guess, me, but also Koichi. So we'll give Koichi the score on that one. And she's going to give us which option. What is interesting to me is that she does it instinctively, and I think it's a skill that came through experience. And so if you at home don't do this instinctively right away, when you're trying these chords, it will change the direction of the melody as you're writing it. And that's first of all okay, and second of all a good thing. Mark is saying I should start dancing. That's yeah. I would see the problem, Mark, is I don't have squirrels. I can't reach and get squirrels within arm's reach.
I'm back, everybody's back.
I know. You should Olivia's back.
I'm back.
Oh, man.
It's such a fail on my part.
Oh, it's okay. If that's the worst thing, I don't even know if you can hear me yet because your headphones aren't on. But
then the dog started barking and I had to throw it some biscuits to shut it up.
Listen, if that's the worst thing that happens in the stream, we'll be fine.
Did people make a decision? So we're
You know what?
doing that.
So
And then we yeah.
Yush says B minor is valid, which is hardly an endorsement, a rousing endorsement to call it valid. I think up above there was a few more comments for E minor. It looks like.
So that would be where I'd go if it was B minor. Okay, so. And this is generally how I write stuff to begin with. P.S. This is a real insider. My mind starting. That's where my mind is played. It's kind of I don't even know what that is. It's an A with a D, an A, and a B over the top of it. So go for your life as to what that is. So that's where I would go. But if I go for the E minor, which people because B is only valid, let's go for the baby. See, I don't think I can get away with what I was singing there, so we would have to go for something different. So if we're playing the E minor with the ninth, which I obviously approve of, I would sing So Why We Go. So I'd put a D over the top of that. Why we go and change it all. Oh, I quite like this.
Ooh.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Write a word, claim a third. Maybe lights and all the stars. And I would. There's a B minor.
Oh.
I was a B. So I've gone the E minor with the ninth. I've shifted to a G to give us a sense of some normality among the B minor. Now, I've just done something which you're not going to approve of, but because of all the chaos in there, I have resolved on a triad.
But how can you do that when Olivia Broadfield says never play a triad? I know you didn't say that.
Bipolar or something. And I relies on all the stars and all this dirty by. Now.
Oh, what happened there?
I shoved an E in there just because I felt terrible about just making it be a triad. So I shoved an E in. I think it worked. So I am actually digging this idea. So our whole thing now, this is relying terribly on my terrible memory. And then I went to the baby witches. So you can see what I've done. I've already done my own rule. With
Yeah. Can you draw some basic lines to illustrate this?
So, but you can hear it. So I'm obviously making the verse quite wordy.
Yep.
Not massively intervally, but wordy.
Yep.
So baby day. So then when I get to that pre, I'm going to naturally start spacing it out so that it doesn't just start sounding like a homogenized mass of everything being the same.
Yeah.
So maybe we were foolish the first time around. I just sang some words. I don't know. Let's go with them. Maybe I was something else all over there. I've been out of town. Oh, no, that's the wrong chord. Now, can you hear that was the wrong chord to get to the chorus? I played the same thing twice.
Oh.
Just say yes.
Oh,
so
but to get to the chorus, yeah.
So we're going to get to the chorus now. So maybe I was for the time around. Or maybe I was stupid day, but David Boo. Can everybody hear where we need to go?
Yeah.
Down. The A! There you go. So there's where your fifth comes in.
Okay.
So you can see we're now pushing it and saying this is going to go somewhere. So we've got that lift. So now we're obviously going to have to do some crackers interval because this is what I've made it all be about.
Yeah, I know. Now you're going to... And it's got to be the most banging hook anyone's ever heard.
It's the Mariah... I'm going to be like Mariah Carey interval coming in here, people. But... So yeah, we've done that. So I can't remember what I'm singing now. I can't remember what my melody was, but this is also what happens when I'm songwriting. But we told So now this is the chorus.
Yeah.
And this is where we're either going to feel really great about ourselves and think, oh my gosh, I wrote a really good song, or we're going to feel really miserable and rejected and generally just hate everything about ourselves. It's just an insight into how my brain works.
Yeah, but now this is so you typically do you work this linear, or will you have a chorus happen and you go, how am I going to get to this?
No, I kind of work this chronologically.
You do. You kind of work up to
be honest. Yeah, because I think sometimes it sounds a bit odd when you've got the chorus first and then you're trying to. It always just sounds a bit like you're trying to work your way back from it. I kind of like working chronologically and going, oh, I've got my verse, I got my chorus, I got my chorus.
The Chumbawamba effect. If I may make a late 90s reference.
Please do. So we're here. So now I think a lot of the time it's okay to be quite obvious in the chorus, particularly because we've been more oblique up to this point. Mm-hmm. And that will be what sells it as a chorus. So you are trying to make the bit now that is the most identifiable, the bit that people can hum, the bit that people will get. So it's okay now to be a little bit more straightforward with where we go with this. So having said that, do people want to make a suggestion for me?
Oh.
It's working well so far.
All right.
So we've now ended that on A. It's going to be probably.
Wouldn't it go back to some version of the? Oh wait, what did you do?
My mind wants to go. So you could go back to the G. That's one option.
Okay.
You could go back to the D. Is the other option. They're the two obvious options.
So I was going to say to go back to the D. That's kind of what made sense.
It's very chorusy, which I've said it can be obvious, and I'm like, no, too obvious, right?
Should we try, what would tuba sound like on this though?
That's where I went. I've gone back to the G. So see, there's my interval.
There's your intervals. Okay, now you make this look easy, but
I'm now going there. Now I'm doing the B minor.
But now what you've done now is you've actually started switching to letting them in the chorus, and maybe this is part of your process worth mentioning. It looks like you've switched now to letting the melody lead you to the next chord rather than the chord lead you to the next melody.
Yes, that kind of is probably what it does, because you're now, the melody's now got to be the selling point. So that interval, which I just did, what am I singing? So I've got quite a big interval, that's like a sixth now. So I love the last discourse, I thought the thousand dollars go, I still go. I don't love the D in any of it, to be honest with you.
No, but there's another chord there.
No, it's not the A either.
Oh, I like the A, but okay.
Oh, why did you like the A?
I do, but you know.
I could be right.
Oh, what happened there?
I was like, it's kind of the A, but it needs something different in the bass, and I shoved an F sharp minor.
So you're playing right hand playing an A.
So right hand, well, it's
but not a triad. Yep.
Not a triad. It's an A, it's a C sharp, and it's a D. And I've shoved an F sharp minor.
But just so it's clear, you're saying if you played that little cluster that is not quite an A, but it's kind of an A.
Yeah, so we're recording this. We are recording, of course we are. Because I'm like, I'm going to write this song afterwards. I quite like it. Thanks, guys.
If you play that chord and you put an A, it will feel like an A, but by changing it to the F sharp.
Yeah, so I like the last discourse, I have for less than lows, and it's like a unbelievable lies. I like the last and lows, I'm on the last and low, and it's like you wanna be like. Probably what I would do now is go to the A. So I've given the feeling of the A the first time round, but I've made it sound like it's still going somewhere. Because it's carrying on for the rest of the chorus. And then I would give it the A. So just that little shift. So all I'm doing is changing what the bottom hand's doing, but it's essentially always an A, but it gives it that feeling that we've not yet done. Rather than if I went there both times, just speeding this up for time purposes. I like it too, to be honest, but it's because I made the A sound better.
I'm gonna throw out something. I don't know if this comes to fruition or not, but there was a request from someone. They're wishing to hear you make a new Reason demo song, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe we should get this thing
this
into
should be it. Oh, yeah.
Right? Then people will have been around for the birth of the song. I mean, and then they'll have it as a demo song. But I was gonna mention something else actually related to that. When you start producing this, we're talking left hand, right hand when we talk about these bass notes that change the voicing of the chord. But if someone is working, let's say they aren't sitting at a piano writing the song, but they're working more in a way where it's like, oh, I've got this synth sound doing the chords and I've got this bass line. Does this same sort of thing, can you employ the same technique?
I think you can employ the same technique. I think, pads will do a lot for you, and that feeling of, even if the pad plays the one note that I want it to make it be dreamy. So if, the reason I didn't like the A before, when you suggested it, it just was a bit too obvious, but here, some people might not even hear the difference, but putting that in, let it go, I know the lives and dies, and then straight back into the verse.
Oh, and then it gets kind of weird, tense, and like that cloven hoof hollow chords. Yeah, and can you do the chipmunk teeth when you do it too?
Everything should get very small.
Yeah.
Then we and it went there naturally. So if anybody else can remember how the whole song goes, great. But we were something like, there you go. And we went to the E minor, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did go to the E minor. When we went to the G.
Yeah, and then B minor.
Then we went to the B minor, and then we went to the D, and then we played this chord again, and I don't remember what the melody was doing, so I'm just going to sing this till we're done. And you hear the chorus is coming. So we've not gone back there, we're just telling people it's coming. I can't remember how the chorus was.
Wait, it's the sixth interval. It's the sixth one.
So we're all singing at home now, aren't we? Still no words. Yes.
No. Okay. It is beautiful. Now, first of all, I gotta say it out loud too, because it was mentioned in the comments that Rocky67 says, "I am nowhere near brave enough to write in public. Hats off to Olivia." My God, that is true. No, it really is true. When we, I'll just.
You had to sell it to me. I was well reticent.
You were practicing.
Only because I owe you about 1 million favors. Guys, can I just say to the left of me here, Ryan spent some time with me. We did some recording and stuff, and Ryan.
Oh no!
No, come on, let's just tell the story.
I'm going to catch shit for this. Okay.
I owe Ryan so many favors because of this. So he's like, "Hey, yeah, let me leave this Neumann mic with you. I'm gonna be coming back anytime soon. It sounds really great with your voice. You use that. I've got no need for it. I'm here, I'm there, everywhere."
I brought over a few microphones.
Let's guess what year this was that Ryan said, "I'll be back any minute. You just keep that expensive Neumann mic. It sounds great." Anybody? No?
It's
before Donald Trump was around.
That is true.
So yeah, I owe Ryan
in fact,
a lot,
it was the first term of Obama. So. Oh no! Actually, no. I think technically it was second term. Okay, second term.
Term.
All right.
Term. So yeah, so I owe Ryan a lot of favours because if ownership is anything, or having it is anything,
I'm
I've now had
slightly
this mic for quite a long time.
unnerved by by the fact that you're gesturing
It's close
over
to
to
the
the
squirrels.
squirrel
Yeah.
enclosure.
Yeah, they love cuddling up to the mic, pissing on the mic. They love this mic. It's like a mum to them. It's like their surrogate mother. So,
Noi mom, huh?
Yeah,
No, okay.
noi mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I owe Ryan lots of favours because I've basically just stolen his mic.
No, it's more a critique of the fact that I am overdue for a visit. That is for sure.
That's true. Yeah, but also, P.S. When you come, you're not taking.
Oh, that's what you're setting up. You're actually setting up. Thank you so much for giving me this mic.
So horribly. Can I just say, disclaimer, little asterisk, disclaimer. I'm doing a bad singing now because I'm just.
Listen.
Nobody be judging me on the singing right now.
Listen. You
no
needn't.
Reverb. I've just had a banana.
You needn't put in any disclaimers. You are an absolute hero for pulling off what you pulled off live like this. We talked, guys, about doing this when we talked yesterday, Olivia and I. She sort of had
yesterday, yeah.
When she asked and requested maybe that there would be moments where she's like, I might need to like think and come up with stuff, and so like could I like kind of switch off and kind of do those and then come back when I've got it. And here we are. You haven't resorted to your cone of silence. You've just been. Yeah. And I think.
I mean, you thought we wouldn't even get to that middle eight, but I'm still holding that C.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let's just throw it there.
Oh, you want to go to the middle eight?
Well, I'm just saying, let's teach people how to write a song. You know what I mean?
Hey, all right.
I mean, we're all singing that chorus now with the. I might just keep these lyrics. It's like a little
Mark, by the way, Mark,
John. I mean,
in the comments, Mark is asking if he can borrow some of my mics too, because apparently I am on a long-term loan program.
It's true, and I've not paid anything for them.
That's right.
Letting go. Now, this feels intuitively like it's not going to work because I've just ended on an A. I'm going to go to a C. This makes me do this. But letting go. No. Let's just no. Straight away, no.
That did not go as planned.
No.
But interesting that in isolation of the verse, it did make some sense.
Yeah,
it's just
depending on how you went there.
Yeah.
This is the thing. You have to see where you're at, Observe your surroundings. If you finished on an A, even if you're like, oh, that C could really work for me, and then, no, it's a hard sell, isn't it?
It is.
So
it reminds me in a way, it doesn't sound at all like this, but that Beyonce song, All the Single Ladies, one of the catchiest damn songs of all time, with one of the most like jarring middle eights when it comes in my mind, because it's kind of going along and it's got this kind of vibe, and then it just goes to a whole different.
I don't know if you've noticed, this probably isn't such a big a hit as that, nor as good, so maybe I won't get away with it. But so yeah, if we're ending on that, I used to hate writing middle eights, and I think if people were to go chronologically through my back catalogue, if you want to inflict that pain on yourself, that you would say, oh, this girl did not like writing middle eights, particularly when I first started using Reason. I was so excited about how coins sounded. I was like, I'm just going to use coins throughout this entire middle eight. I was just that.
Is that a patch? That's a Maelstrom patch or something?
Yeah, 2008, no, it's a Maelstrom patch. Yeah, coins. And I was just like, I'm just going to use coins through this. And I just like, and I just put some beats down below, and I was like, yeah, middle eight. Because I was terrified of how cliched middle eights could be. Now I am dealing with them because I think a song often needs them. And you should think of the middle eight as... I hate it when it's like wrapping the whole song up in like 2 lines, because that is a lot of pressure and it does not need to do that. But in essence, it needs to do that. No, in essence, it's kind of... a bit of a take-home message. If you wanted to have space to say something meaningful, it can often happen in the middle eight. So I'm now trying to think of any of my songs that have got a middle eight, because I've just said that none of them have a middle eight. And I'm struggling to think. I think Gone has it. If you bear with me, I'm just remembering how to play my own songs. As good as you. So in Gone, I've done the chorus, and I go to this you. I am remembering how to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do a funny chord here as well. No, it's not that one. Oh, there you go, that's it. That's because of you. Now for me that's not the middle eight, that's just a little filler. And then I do, and I finally found that I found my voice. Not in this instance. And I'm saying all these things just because I've got the choice. That's the middle eight for me. It didn't have to do a lot, but I went stupidly high with my voice, so 1 out of 10 times I'm going to get it. Finally found that I found my voice. And then I play this very odd chord just to end it, but it's like a different taste of something. Like if you were just eating mashed potato and then someone's like, hey, do you want a bit of gravy with that? You'd be like, yes, I do. Maybe not in America. I might have just done the weirdest food combination.
No. We do gravy on mashed potatoes. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So that chord did it. Because that chord does not sound like it belongs with these songs as much. You know, and then whatever chord it was, it's kind of, that is that tension, weird chord that people were suggesting and I was doing a face with. So that often can be your place to do it, is the middle eight, and then it's bringing it back to the chorus. And that's what you always have to remember. You're going to go straight from that middle eight usually back into the chorus. Sometimes back into a pre if it works, but
structurally there's some questions and some international translations going on in the comments here. Some people are asking, is a middle eight a bridge? And then someone asked, is that what we call a stick in Sweden? I don't know.
It's a bridge. You throw sticks off bridges. Maybe this is the Swedish logic. Yes, it's a stick. Yeah.
You throw sticks off bridges.
Is it yeah?
You make that sound like that was the primary.
I can't even say yes.
What's
yes in Swedish?
Ja.
Ja. Sorry, I said ja, which is...
That's okay. I probably said it wrong now.
Okay. But, yeah, so the bridge, the middle eight, it's called middle eight, obviously, because it used to occupy 8 measures. And if you really want to get it right, and you're in your reason, and you want to draw 8 measures and go, I've got to fill something there, then that's how you do a middle eight. And I kind of stick to that rule.
And somebody asked, is a bridge not the pre-chorus? What's the difference there?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I've got confused. I don't know. I'm tired. I didn't have my hot cross bun. This is prime hot cross bun time.
I know. You're going on only on a banana. No, I think that the terms are malleable, guys. I know in my acoustic world, you know, there's choruses and then there's verses and then there's things where they'll call the chorus the bridge for reasons that I don't know, but because Bill Monroe did it in 1948, that's what it is. So,
to be fair, I've only started using the word pre-chorus just because it's so literal what it is. You know, particularly in writing sessions, it's like, hey, we got to the pre now, we'll get to the pre-chorus. You might be right that bridge was used for that, and I think bridge is used for a lot of things. Like in classical music, I like the bridge feels like it's the end.
Right, you know? But here's if I were to invent rules right now on the stream, I think what I would say is that the bridge or the middle eight or the stick apparently will happen once in a song. The pre-chorus can happen more than once in the song, and usually and almost always before the chorus.
That's why we call it the pre-chorus.
Exactly. Now the catch to that is that coming out of the bridge can be in some ways the substitute for a pre-chorus. So you can go pre-chorus into chorus. Yeah, bridge into chorus.
Yeah, I think it's what the song feels like it needs. I have done and will continue to do both. So if I do the middle eight, if I do the middle eight, then yeah. And another trick, if you don't want to write a middle eight, which I don't really want to all the time, is I just real strip back the pre-chorus. So if the pre-chorus was all, you know, jazzy, I'll just hold it. So I'll just be like, I'm going to do the pre-chorus here, and it's going to sound a bit different, but I can't be fucked to write middle eight, so I've just done this, and we're back to the chorus, and that also works. You're just kind of, it should be like a breather. It should be like, I'm about to hit you with the chorus one more time. Remember how great it was? No? Well, then let me give you this bit that's a bit different. There's a bit of space, and then you'll remember how great the chorus is.
Right. Now, Chris Ray has thrown in breakdown as a thing. I mean, there's so many things we could...
Oh, God. Let's not get bogged down with technology and terminology even. Definitely can't get bogged down.
The drop, push button wants to talk about the drop. No, guys, no.
Guys.
Just, the key thing you said is...
How often has anybody listened to one of my songs and go, wonder when the drop's going to happen?
I ask myself on every song, and I'm disappointed every time. I'm just waiting for that. You never do it. No, but what you did say is that you said something about a minute ago about just do what the song is kind of...
Do what the song needs.
Yeah.
So let's pretend that we're going to finish the song. So, it's a good thing I've remembered that top bit.
I know.
Letting go keeps coming out at that point. So that's probably what I'll end up writing, just because it keeps coming out. The letting go. And so I've said we're going to go to a middle eight. And I'm thinking, where do we go? And it doesn't have to be that it's a brand new chord. It can just be that it's graphically on the old amazing graph thing that I was doing, that it does something.
Should we have you scan that so we can upload it for people so they can...
Yeah, guys, if you want to download this as a PDF, I can't now, I'm going to get ridiculous and just laugh about how shit that is. Right, so we've ended on that. Focus, we've ended on that. So you could go to some of the chords we've already used. You could go back to that. I mean, to be honest, that E minor that we gave away early on would be probably where I would have gone. And it might be where you go back to. Because the B minor doesn't feel like it's right. And the nice thing about the E minor is it's not something we give away in the chorus. So it does give us that like comma, that feeling of a break, because it's going to be different to what we've had for a bit.
Right.
So I would probably go to that, and then I would probably go to... I just sang this, I love so day, just pulling it all out, making it all be very spacious. It's quite nice. And don't be frightened, just go back there again. I love so day, and I will feel. This is what I'd do here. I would then...
Are you going to a chorus, but a stripped down chorus?
Yeah, I am.
I heard
Could
it.
you hear how it needed it?
I
See?
heard it, yep.
How many people heard that's where it was going? So, and then you kick it back in there, right? There you go. And you can hear it sometimes if you, and this is why this is realistic, and I hope that people get that how realistic this is, and this is not something obviously that we've made up beforehand because it would be better. But this tends to be how I write something. Don't get bogged down with the lyrics.
Okay, right.
Don't get bogged down with the lyrics too much. Get everything sketched in. Just feel how the song's going to go. Because if you start getting bogged down in lyrics, you lose the momentum. And there is that sense that something has a momentum. So just like I was singing this, and I was saying it would go here, and it would have space, because that's what the middle eight needs. And I turn the lights down low. Oh, just written another lyric. It's getting a bit sort. Sounds a little bit like a Barry White number now. I'm going to turn the lights down low in this song. I turn the lights down low. Da, 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 da. I don't fall off, letting go. Letting go.
What you really have demonstrated, what you've demonstrated so well here is that the songwriting process doesn't have to be labored. It can be fun. I mean, hopefully you're having a bit of fun, but I think it's been enormous.
I'm drunk, so.
I think
if anybody knows me, I don't touch alcohol, so I'm definitely not drunk.
You have, through this whole process, you've been like, just what it hit me when you sort of then went into you started with the stripped down chorus, and then you just started kind of like, literally, like physically kind of like enjoying the process of bringing it back up and stuff.
People overthink it, and the songwriters that are songwriters that we, you know, go, oh yeah, so I'm sure very few of them were like grafters and like gritters, you know, when it came to the songwriting process. You know, the famous songs that we hear about, and they're like, oh, I wrote in 15 minutes. You know, if you guys, you know, if we hadn't been interjecting and doing all this stuff, and we just said, oh, let's just run with it, you know, that sketched itself together quite quickly. It did.
I was thinking about that. You said you write songs in about 35 minutes, and we've been on for an hour and a half, but you would have done this. I'm slowing you down enormously. Yeah.
You are a hindrance, to be honest. You have showed me up. If you just stayed silent and I just communicated with the people through you, if you had just been a medium to the portal that I can't see.
I mean, I could just give you the Zoom login and then you could just go from there, you know.
But I have to say, genuinely, and maybe we will do this as a thing, I like the song. I was worried because people were going to be suggesting. I mean, let's be honest. When people suggested something shit, I just went no. But whoever suggested the E minor with the ninth in,
Matt Hammond. Matt is in New Zealand, so they know chords.
Top of the class, Matt. Top of the class. Because that, I mean, like I said, if I had a big enough hand, I'd have gone there. A boy would be able to get there, but I can't get there. So, hence why I also play like that. But yeah, that was genius. Your A was genius in the end once the D got in there and got involved. And let's just hear the difference between this and, oh my God. It's upsetting to hear the second one, isn't it?
I think it's great. It's really, and people are all, you know, really kind of enjoying it in the comments. They're liking the song, loving the voice. Chris Ray, I'd buy this song.
Buy it, not even illegally download
that's
it or
right,
just stream
yeah.
it.
But who are we kidding? Would he really though?
Buy it. Maybe this is what we should do. This should be like some sort of charity single with all of our faces on the front, all the people
that's
that
right.
took part in this.
Let me tell you, if you want to talk about monetizing, there are people that are requesting that diagram as a t-shirt as well, and I would wear that.
Mugs. I mean, that could be on mugs.
Olivia Broadfield's keys to songwriting.
Yeah.
Morse code. ...
But you do notice that we did use it.
We did. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not without its actual merit. Yes.
I just needed to use something better than a pencil to show you that. Maybe like some sort of Sharpie would have been a better idea.
I think your pencil did. It did just fine. For all the joking, it actually was
it also didn't help that I was trying to show it on a lined book.
Yes, and against a low dynamic range camera in a bright window. But so, it still worked.
Notes for the next session, because we're doing this daily now, guys. Notes for the next session. Bring laptop charger,
that's right.
Sharpie, plain paper.
That's right.
Maybe some sort of hot cross bun break.
I'll tell you, you joke, but Bill Copeland is saying Olivia must return, and I might agree. We might drag you back into one of these eventually. But before, I don't.
How long is this going on for? Is this like a punishment for people in lockdown? How long is this going on?
The length of the streams that I make people do is directly related to how long they've borrowed my mics. So you are in for it.
Woof! I've got another 8 years of this.
Yeah, you really do. Just, I hope, you know, you get a pillow for when you're asleep, but it's full Truman Show over here now. No, but I don't actually, I want to hold you just a little bit longer because we did promise that we would check out some people's songs and maybe we could do a little of that before we
feed the squirrels, which is generally how I have to interval my day now. It's 4 hours. I've got to feed the squirrels.
Do you want to explain to people while I kind of get some of these things ready, why you have squirrels?
No. I want to just leave it like I have squirrels.
All right.
No, I have squirrels because aside, I run a little wildlife sanctuary, and then I realised that birds are a bit boring, and people just kept bringing me squirrels. So now I've just got. I mean, oh God, I don't know if I can. What can I do here to show the squirrels? I mean, I could just get. Maybe I could get them in my top. I'm gonna get all 5 of them when we're looking at this. I'm just gonna get all 5 squirrels in my top.
Are you at what?
Yeah, ready. Let's just get them. They're all sleepy, so they'll be happy. Just get another one. Just show people some baby squirrels in my top. See, look. There's lots of them.
You know, they're pretty. I mean, they kind of look like rats from far away right now, but actually,
no, they don't look like rats.
They kind of just in that second. Once the tails came out, they didn't.
They're embarrassingly now trying to nuzzle under my armpits, which does show that they are. They are hungry, and one of them's just chewing my hair. But you know, do you know what's more adorable than one squirrel? Just like two of them held together. Look, two held together. Look, then they're nothing like rats.
Are they?
Look at this. Look.
Oh.
He's like, Mom, when's this over? Feed us.
I got to say, I thank you. You know, I grab a thumbnail for the replay version of this, and I thank you for the songwriting thumbnail with a squirrel on it. That will definitely be grabbed. But so, okay, now, so should we look at some of these tunes? And guys, if I call out...
look at me. I've relaxed. I've turned away from the piano to go into critique mode.
You've got your hands in judgment ready to go. So, let's see here. I'm going to pull up some of these. Hopefully you guys... Oh, actually, first of all, I think dropped into this folder, we've got... I won't even intro this one. This is not a new song that someone's working on. This is something else here. Take a listen.
It's just one of my old songs. Don't do that.
There is something I should say.
What's this little
There
catchy
is
number?
something
This is the
Poor
old...
top line. Poor top line, but the rest of it's good.
There is nothing.
This is the old Lumber Beat remix.
Oh!
God, I have to get
Urban Lumberjack.
Urban Lumberjack. Michael Dugan, Urban Lumberjack. I'm gonna jump ahead.
Can we stay here?
Wait, I remember this one. Wait.
I quite like this one.
Yeah, I remember this. Michael, you might have made the shortlist if you didn't win. So
Yeah, it's got elements of that quite 8-bit. I like it.
yeah, it's quite good, right? Okay, but so now, guys, if I call you up as one of the songs I'm going to play for Olivia here that you guys are working on, and hopefully you can let us know in the comments maybe something that you're kind of hoping to get input on, you know. So if you're
quick before I just slam the whole song. Be like, I'm really proud of the verse. I just know where to go with the chorus.
That's right. So let's take a look. I haven't heard any of these. These have come in during the show. So let's just take a listen. I might skip around a little bit because sometimes songs kind of have a build and we're going to try and get to it.
Not mine, but okay, yeah.
So this is Devin Taylor and it's a tune called Pretty Noise. Let's take a look.
I feel like that's going to be a
Charlotte Church.
I've been looking for a way to phrase this.
Got into this.
'Cause there's no easy way to break your heart. And I don't wanna play games with you.
No intervals, already getting a tick.
So I guess it's best we press restart. I can't sugarcoat it. Oh,
Good.
I need you to know it. Oh, we just don't connect at all. At all.
Chorus.
When you're talking love, all I hear you say is pretty noise, pretty noise. When you're talking love, all I hear you say is pretty noise, pretty noise. Scream at me.
Okay, so now we're in the next verse. So that's a...
Yeah. Okay. What are his?
Now, yeah, so Devin, if you're in the comments, throw out kind of where you're, what you like, what you're struggling with, or maybe if you're stumped with it, or what. But I think, you know, what you were kind of pointing out during this was that he's kind of ticking off some of these things. He's got, you know, there's a little bit of a tonal build in the pre-chorus. He's got more intervals in the.
Yeah. Is he communicating with us? He's not going to be communicating.
But there's gonna be a delay there, and actually, he'd have to maybe Devin. Let me know if you're using a handle. Like, I don't know if you're, you know, if you're called whatever, like Harry Potter fan 88 or something. Then I gotta connect that to being Devin. So, Devin, if you're in the comments, let us know who you are, and then jump in. But there will be
This is dangerous territory because now I'm just going to.
I know you just freewheel it, but I think it's okay. I think people. I'm going to speak on behalf of other people that they want to hear your opinion, and so give it to them.
So when I listen to that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm liking this. This is nice. Pre-chorus, yeah, good, liking it. I'm not going to say a mistake.
You already said mistake,
but I've used it. It's that. It's unusual because I'm going to talk about production, which is not my wheelhouse and not where, you know. But for me, I liked what he did because he's like, okay, so I'm coming to the chorus, I've got to make this be something. So he's packing up the voices, and I really like that.
Yeah.
But then for me, that string line or whatever it was that he had going over the top of it fought against it. And I was slightly losing what the rest was doing, because the rest was cool and Pretty Noise. It's a cool. I mean, here we'd probably just call this like a lyrical hook, because it's you know, Pretty Noise is a nice lyrical hook. It's a nice concept.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes you don't always have to make it be a melodic hook, and you don't always have to make it be, you know, a big jump or anything like that. If it's got a real good, that's a cool little idea. Pretty Noise. I like that.
You know, I think it's interesting. You point out that string thing is sort of that thing we were talking about before of like space for the vocal to fit in.
If you can re-cue that for us, give us the pre. What the pre was.
My hunch is that Devin wrote this. Oh, what?
Yeah, let's all picture it without that string line.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I need you to know it.
This is really good.
We just don't
Building.
connect
Yeah.
at all. When you're talking love, all I hear you say is Pretty Noise.
See, look, it's got that fighting against. You see, it's
Yeah.
fighting against is the Pretty Noise bit. He's either got to pitch that a lot lower so it's not so, because that's what we're hearing.
Yeah,
Because
I was
it's
thinking that's
high,
also
because
one of
the
those things.
tone.
Bear with me, I'm going to make an instrument suggestion, but that's one of those things too where if you pitch it
Tuba.
lower.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I was gonna say something more akin to like marimba, a kind of, it's got more of a round tonal percussive sound than it does.
Yeah, and he's kind of doing what I said I'd do that's new. He was kind of I don't know which bit he wrote first, but he's kind of taking bits of that, and it's in the top line.
Right.
But because of how he's got it and because of what he's choosing to do that with, it becomes a distraction. I liked it at the beginning bit,
Yeah.
but he has to know that his hook here is where he says Pretty Noise. Now, either he's got to scoop that string part out there, and maybe keep it at the beginning, because I quite liked it at the beginning, scoop it out there, and then really focus that that's his hook.
You've
the moment,
grabbed onto thing. I didn't even think about that. That's where he's saying the titular Pretty Noise phrase too, that you really don't want to step on that. Yeah.
And we don't get it because he's doing that other bit. So
Interesting.
less is more. Pull that out. Potentially, then he might be able to do lyrically something a little more with the Pretty Noise bit. But I quite liked it. It's right for the genre that he's writing.
Right.
But
Matt Hammond from famed things such as an E minor 9 chord.
Bloody hell, Matt Hammond.
He says,
I feel like he should be doing the next session. You know, throwing out chords.
he says he might leave the string top line for a post chorus, which actually that would make sense. You do your chorus and then you bring that in.
A little Taylor Swift kind of thing where you're like, oh, the chorus is done. Whoa, well, no, it's not. Something else is happening.
Yeah. That is cool. Okay, cool. Let's check out another one. Devin, thank you so much for submitting that. That's great.
Yes, Devin, very brave of you.
Very brave.
I genuinely enjoyed it, and I would tell you if I hated it.
That is true. So now let's. Totally. Now let's see. Okay, we have one by Z Wolf we're gonna grab. This one is either, I'm not quite sure. It's got two potential names here. One, Damn the Witch Siren, or maybe it's like parentheses, Claire Danes. So I don't. Well, let's see what this is. Sung from the perspective of Jared Leto. Okay. Let's check it out.
I think right to be scared. Can't believe this has any lyrics.
You're speaking my language. It's a little too high for tuba.
Whatever you wanna do, wherever you wanna go, baby,
I'm getting into
wanna be your
it.
Romeo. Oh,
Romeo.
honey, wanna take you to a show. Don't need money, we'll sneak into the back door. On my knees, you make me want to pray. You make every day feel like a fucking holiday. You wanna be my Superman, and I wanna be your Romeo. And you wanna kiss and hold my hand, and I wanna take off your clothes. And you wanna be my Claire Danes, and I wanna be your Leo. And you wanna be in my band, and I wanna be your hero.
I feel like I have to fade this one out because it would just feel too jarring to stop it. It's such a vibe. Okay. Very different. Very different both in terms of Devin's tune, but very different from what you do as well, obviously. But not that you are without...
Gotta tell you, I'm kind of... I was worried at the start because it sounds like a song title for someone who might have problems. I was worried.
I like that you can say that now that you're impressed.
Post song. And I was like, where are we going with this Claire Danes thing? But I gotta tell you, I enjoyed a lot of it.
I did too, and I gotta say, I like the idea of picking.
The only thing, and it's the only thing that I was gonna say, and it's such a minor point, which should show how much I really enjoyed this song. And when will this become available? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I would listen to that again and enjoy it.
Right.
Not because I'm being made to listen to it like now, but
it's got a fun vibe to it for sure.
It's kind of like a. You remember when the Ting Tings were out and they kind of had this like. No, do you remember Ting Tings?
Ting Tings, no.
I thought they were quite big in America. They're big here.
Maybe they're. I don't know.
They had this kind of like shouty, kind of raucous pop music, and I'm kind of into it. Like just shouting your message. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
And the point I have to make is so small, but he gave Romeo away too early. That's the only thing. He said Romeo, or she said Romeo, earlier on in like the verse.
Really? Before the punk combination of...
Yeah,
like because...
And it's so small because he's just got to just change that one word. But he said it, and then and you didn't maybe notice it, but I'm like, oh, he's given it away. Don't give it away.
Right, okay.
Because it's cool. Because what he's doing is really cool, and Romeo and Hero and all this is super cool. So just find a word that we weren't even really... You know what I mean?
Okay.
The verse.
Okay.
No one's really listening yet. Just shove another word in. We probably won't even notice.
There was a songwriter, I can't remember who it was, but a somewhat well-known songwriter that had a kind of methodology of working where she said that every great song I've written has a secret to tell. And there's not that this is a secret per se, but what you're talking about is a similar thing of kind of just letting, if you're going to bring that in, let it be more of a reveal later. Just hold off. Don't
because that's the whole thing, isn't it? The whole Claire Danes, Romeo, Leo thing. That's the whole thing of the song, and you didn't need to hint that. It's
almost like it's the opposite of newspaper writing. When you write a newspaper, you got to put everything in the first paragraph: who, what, when, where, why. And this is almost like the opposite. You don't need to give.
The chorus is doing it. So and literally that would be my only thing. I was like, oh, you said the Romeo thing, but then you brought the Romeo thing back in the chorus.
Yep.
It's going to make more of an impact if we haven't heard about Romeo in the verse. That's it.
Right.
A+.
A+. All right.
I want to hear it again, to be honest.
I mean, really, I'll play it again. Here we go. Oh wait,
the beginning. The beginning scared me. I was a bit scared of the beginning, but I'm all right with it because then it kicked in quite quickly.
Let's see where the
scared me.
Are you okay with that like trombone?
Fine from there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, the scary part. Scary.
The scary bit could go as well. Lose the scary bit. Come straight in with that. Be ballsy. Lose the scary bit.
Whatever you wanna do, wherever you wanna go. Baby, I wanna be your Romeo. Oh, honey, wanna take you to a show. Don't need money.
I like this rhythm. This push-pull rhythm. Good rhythm.
On my knees, you make me want to pray. You make every day feel like a fucking holiday. You wanna be my Superman, and I wanna be your Romeo. And you wanna kiss and hold my hand, and I wanna take off your clothes. And you wanna be my Claire Danes, and I wanna be your Leo. And you wanna be in my band, and I wanna be your hero.
Maybe they say Romeo. Maybe I got it wrong. Did they say Romeo in the chorus? I now confused myself.
No, maybe it's the implication. He said, "I want to be your Claire Danes, and you're going to be my
maybe he
my
did
Leo."
Say it. In which case, if he didn't say it, eradicate everything I just said, and this is my new jam. And
all right, cool. Let's check out another one now. I mean, let's see what we got. We're gonna go into the. Maybe we do one more. Should we do one more or two more? You tell me.
One more because
Okay.
the legitimate reason is because I've got to feed the squirrels and because it's starting to get dark.
Yeah. Okay.
Ryan said when I put the light on, everything goes red.
It does. Well, it does, but that's all right. It's better than dark. So okay, let's see. Should we do? You tell me. I'm going to throw out a few names. Oh, speaking of what, someone said you'll appreciate. They said that was a great tune, and they spelled it with a CH. So that's they're a person after your own heart. So I'm going to throw.
There's a pie chart of what Ryan and I talk about. The majority of that pie chart would be whether words that begin with TU or DU should be pronounced tu or t.
Yeah.
So
could you maybe?
Ryan would say
I know that you like to
yeah.
do this. Could you maybe draw a visualization of that concept for us?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe using.
If I was to do a pie chart, right? This section here would be how much we talk about. This section here is how much we talk about our feelings, and this section here is how much we talk about whether it should be sound dual duty or dual duty.
Dual duty is as it should be. That is
Don't even
correct.
start me on those things floating in the ocean, buoys. Don't even start me on them.
What? They're buoys. That's right.
Boys, they're boys.
Oh, they're not boys. Come on. That's soon. You're going to be telling me that
This is like a modern day George Gershwin song. You say buoy, and I say boy.
You say dual duty,
and I say jewel. Yeah, great.
It's excellent. Okay, I'm going to throw out some names. You tell me which one interests you. There's Agarim Title Me is the name of the song. Mike Mowgli, A Hard Rain, I guess is the name of the song. Klaus Foxen with, wait, I got to make it bigger to see the name. This is very German. Klaus Foxen, artist name Foxen Klaus, title Klaus macht Foxen.
That one. Don't even go any further. Please play that one.
Oh, is that the one you want?
Yes.
I mean, if it's not a like banging German club song, I'm going to be very disappointed.
It'd be like a soft ballad.
Totally. Okay, let's see how it goes. Interesting.
Can I just say when these start, I'm like, how has this got a top line? But go on, carry on. It's just like...
It's sort of a Kraftwerk. It's a Kraftwerk vibe, kind of. I mean, not really, but kind of. I'm gonna skip ahead just because it looks like it's building.
Yeah, just I feel like there's no top line.
Well, much like the artist name
was...
and the title, there's not much more to it than.
Yeah, there's not much for me to analyse. I mean, maybe you could try saying Foxen first and then Klaus, as if he was appearing on a register.
You know what? I feel like this is exactly how the song "Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger" was born. That they were like, they were just saying "harder, better, faster, stronger" all the time. They're like, maybe we should say "stronger, better, harder, faster." Okay, so I don't think that counts. Let's do another one. Okay.
I applaud your name. I applaud you saying the song in your name. It's very Jason Derulo, which is someone we've weirdly talked about already today. But yeah, it's
Okay, let's take a look at James Harris. I Give It All to You.
Oh, this sounds more like my kind of language.
All right. Okay, here we go.
He plays a triad in this though.
What's that?
Okay, it's good. Yeah, I said if he plays a triad in it though, go on.
Okay, I think he does in the first one. Let's see. That's a triad, isn't it?
It's like we'll carry on listening.
Okay. But you know, I will say it's kind of got
an
Owl City poppy clarity to it. So yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yes, I know I don't do everything right. When this life gets rough, sometimes it's hard to fight. But just know I love you with all of my heart. I mean it, Lord. I give it all to you. Your heart is bigger than the earth. You have all power, yet I don't play with you. Have in store for me
is I'm going to turn down for a second. So it's interesting to me. This is like, I feel like this is, you're hearing the influence of sort of Owl City in early 2010s pop mixed with Imagine Dragons, like that 7 years coming together.
Say, weirdly, he sounds the person who's probably been the most successful out of somebody that I wrote with was an Australian guy called Dean Lewis. Really lovely guy. He's now been on Ellen. He's doing well in America. He's smashing it in his own country in Australia. And this guy had flavours of Dean Lewis. If you haven't heard of Dean Lewis, go and listen to him, because his voice and kind of what he's doing for me, I really love the chorus. Great chorus, great lyrical hook. Great.
Now, I'm going to ask, you're counting the chorus as the
yeah,
okay.
and then he finishes it with like the little
that stop thing.
Whoa, that little wobby bit. So I believe he entered the song with the chorus.
I believe so too.
A stripped version of the chorus, and then bang, and it came, and then whatever. Now, if we can refer to the Broadfield, I feel like the mistake that he's made is he probably wrote that chorus first.
Okay.
I wish he was there to interact with us. Maybe
he might be. Let's see. Let me go back.
Olivia, no, I did not write the chorus first.
Wait, where did he? Oh, I've lost his. Where did his song go? Who? Did I close it? Wait a second. Hang on. Oh yeah, Tyree. If you're in the comments, make yourself known to us. Wait, is it Tyree? Yeah, I think it is Tyree. Yeah. No, that's
it wasn't
if you
it.
leave me.
No. It was a person's name, wasn't it? It wasn't James Harris, was it? No, it wasn't James Harris. Who sent it? It was like a man's name. It was like a proper name.
Wait, where? I've got all these other songs open on my screen now.
It had like quite a forgive me, but 80s, 90s title, like I give you.
Oh wait, I give it all to you, James Harris. There he is.
James Harris. There you go, James Harris.
James, if you're in the comments, let us know. Did you write the chorus first on that? As Olivia seems to be predicting. Why are you predicting that?
And if you didn't, could you just say that you did?
So you look good. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Because, for many reasons. A, because he gives it to us first, and I'm like, I know it's like a not very Jessica Fletcher deduction, but he gives it to us first, which makes me think he was like, yeah, check this out, written this chorus. And he gives it to us first, which is quite an unusual thing to do. So that's what I'm thinking. He wrote that first. And then, I have to catch myself with this. He's loved what he's done because it's a really nice melody. It's a really nice rhythm. It's a really nice, everything's working for it. He's got the walls, very good, catchy, all good. And then he goes, where am I going to go now? And I'm a bit like, you don't know, do you? Because you've given it all. You've done it all. You've written a great chorus. And I feel like he's slightly suffering then, particularly because he's got this very like driving little, beat. It becomes, I almost like, we'll listen to another chorus, we'll listen to another chorus, we'll listen to another chorus. It's almost like he's given us too much. And the chorus then, for me, we had it that first time and it was great. And then the second time round, you had to be like, it's chorus. Because you had to identify
it's almost the flip side to, there's that old Roxette, I think it was Roxette that had this line, please don't bore us, get to the chorus. And it's like, please don't bore us, get off the chorus. So like I said, I'm not going to share it again, but he is doing linearly or like graph-wise, he's probably doing the same thing with that top line rhythmically. If we were to get all musicologists about it, he's probably doing the same thing with that top line, at least rhythmically, in the verses as well. And because he's got that same, he was kind of like doing some sort of thing in the bass line, which was quite like octavey, and it was the same thing over and over again. So we had like something that was driving it down at the bottom, and there wasn't enough differentiation for me. So I would say to him, he may have just said this because he's like, check out my amazing song. So it's amazing, and I think the chorus is really great, and I think it's like proper actually pop song great. And like I said, if you go and listen to Dean Lewis's stuff, which he's doing very well, it's pretty close to that and pretty damn good. So for me, he needs to stop something. So if he was there, I wish he could tell me a chord to go with or something. I feel like a G was in there somewhere. I can play it again if you want to reference it, but
just give me something so I'm at least in the right key.
Okay, sure. Here's a little bit.
B flat.
That's the key thing there.
He's doing so he's doing like and I feel like he's doing that a lot. And my thing would be like, keep it for the chorus, amazing. You've done a great chorus, you've done a great little bit after the chorus, keep it. But and it's hard because he's done it and it is a good song, and we're having to guess now that he's sent it to us because he's not happy with something. And I would just say that this is where he's like, I'm really happy with all of it, and I'm just crying.
How dare you?
Because it is really good, and it's really great to listen to, and it's really fun to listen to, but
Yeah.
I'm having to guess why he sent it, and I feel like he has to let that chorus shine more by pulling something back. Now, it might not be anything to do with the lyric, the melody. It may just be that the production is kind of ticking the same boxes.
Yeah.
So he may just need to be pulling things back in the production, and I don't know the song well enough to know that's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if that's what he's doing all the time, maybe if his verse was starting on that F sharp minor. Sorry, I've transposed for easy playing, so whatever that would be, a G minor in the B flat. So if he was to maybe start here, and he might be able to sing exactly the same melody over the top that he was doing, but it's going to then mean that when we get to that, we're feeling like we've got back there again. That's all it felt like, is that,
Right.
I mean, if you dip into the song, like just at given intervals, dip into the song and let us hear like 10 seconds at dipped in intervals.
You want that now?
Yep, yeah, just play like dipped in intervals at 10, you know.
Okay, so we had the intro. It's
Yeah.
wait, that's Z-Wolf. That's the scary part. Don't get scared.
Whoa!
Here we go.
But just know I love you with all of my heart. I mean,
Melody's great.
Okay, so then it kicks in.
Okay. Guys, what are we in? Do we know what this is? It sounds a bit like the chorus.
But
He's kind of giving away. He's giving away a bit of chorus. Yeah, and he's giving us a bit of chorus melody. Do you see?
Yeah.
He's giving it away too soon. Carry on.
You're right.
He's giving us too much of the same melody. Same.
Okay, now I'm gonna fully put you on the spot and force you to give potentially just give away some melody here. But what would you do?
Right. Okay. Even if he
Kept the same chords.
I'm not singing exactly the same melody. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm going to sing what I think his melody is in that verse. So he's very close to his chorus melody in parts, and I'm probably going to just be singing the chorus. Even if he was singing that same kind of a little bit chorusy melody, but shifting the chords that were underneath it. So I'm showing you that even if he is singing a bit the same melody and it's all a bit the same, that if he at least changes the chords up, that will still hit us as the chorus.
But now as a flip, could you just do a different melody over the same, keep the chords the same, but
so if he is doing that, all the way through,
but you wanted
so
the verse melody.
and if his chorus is the that's the chorus. Got an octave leap there, good interval. Okay, so maybe if he was to go somewhere more like there, I live it all day in my hand, I need some life for dawn, I live above the line. Give more space. I did the second line, I know da 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 da. Oh, And see, I also shifted the way that he played those chords.
Okay.
So I didn't attribute them the same amount of measures.
Yep.
I need the so slow the chords down.
Yes, right.
2, 3, 4. So I'm giving them 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. And then he's rushing them. Yeah. So even if you're doing the same chords, but you give them different measures and different beats, then that might allow him more space to pull away. It's difficult. If he has written that chorus first and he's gone straight in with that chorus, and then he's like, I'm gonna predict in the future that Olivia's gonna say, try writing a song with all the same chords, and he's like, I'll give that a go. He's then
maybe he did this during the stream. He's just so fast. You think you're fast at 35 minutes. He's did the whole production.
But
then again, we have been on for about 8 years, so that's
we have been, yeah. So that's what he's done. But love it. He could leave it as it is, but it's just if he wants it to be something where he's like, this is crafted, and we've sensed the idea that it's being right, coutured a little bit more, then I would do a bit of pulling stuff out.
I got you. I hear it. I hopefully it doesn't look like he's in the comments, so hopefully he sees it on a replay or something and catches it, or maybe not. Maybe he's got. The thing is he's got a great tune.
I was gonna make a joke, which isn't a joke. I was just standing on the edge of a bridge, just now going, man, that's the best song I ever wrote. It's not a very politically correct joke, though.
No, but it is a great tune, and so hats off to you, James Harris. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Now, Olivia, I'm going to let you go. I could keep you here forever.
If all the squirrels die, this is on you.
I know. Rocky 67.
They get bloat because I rushed the feeding before this.
Oh, Rocky 67 said squirrels are starving for this, and I hate to think, we can't put, on movies, they put no animals were harmed.
It's like an advert. It's going to be like an advert, isn't it? It's going to be like, while this was being made, these poor squirrels.
Oh, the song you started writing, you're going to have to make it about the, saying goodbye to a squirrel.
While this advert was being made. Oh, perfect example of shifting without shifting in the bass. Another one.
All right, let's do it all again. Let's do it again. Stick around for another 2 hours.
Is it me you're looking for?
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, I see. Listen, it's funny.
Bye.
Chris Ray says, see you next week, Olivia. So I think they're asking for you back. I would love to have you back, and we'll talk because, we'll be talking anyway.
In case anyone was wondering, I've got no other skills in terms of music. If you're
That's not,
hey, do you want to talk to us about production? No. Hey, do you want to talk to us about how long it takes you to pick a piano sound?
That's not
Hey,
true.
talk to us about that reverb that you've used for the last 10 years. Sure.
Oak Room?
But
yeah. No,
I actually shifted up recently to Wood Barn.
Oak Room to Wood Barn. Wow, look at you. That's the RV7000 Mark II that you're tapping into there. Listen, I appreciate so much you doing this. I think everybody else did. It was a blast to see your process and then to get your insights. I think you did it with gentle honesty on things that you thought could be improved. I think hopefully everybody who had their songs...
When you said gentle, I was like, Jewel, gentle. I was like, it's gentle. And I was like, no, I've got this confused.
That's how it sounds. That's how, yeah. Yeah, I totally appreciate it. I'm going to play us out with a song here. Let's see. Should we have our outro music be Z-Wolf's Claire Danes or...
Please.
Okay, you said it's my new jam. I'm going to cue it up after the scary part. So we're going to go to about here, and then I'm going to turn it down. There we are.
And then we're going to do Fade Me Out. Should I, dance my way? I'll dance my way off the screen.
Please do. All right, keep dancing. Now... All right, you are now off screen. I'm going to say my goodbyes. Olivia, stick around, and I'll say goodbye to you in a second here. Guys, thanks so much for sticking around again. I hope you guys had fun. Always good to be back. And we'll come out next week. We'll do a little more. But I hope people learned stuff. And if you haven't played around with songwriting yet, maybe this is the little push you need to kind of get into it. Olivia makes it look easy, but it doesn't have to be hard, So give it a go. And share with us, share with Stefan, tweet to him, or send us some stuff. If you start writing some songs as a result of this, or if anyone who had their music played, if you guys make some adjustments and update your songs, send them to us. We'd love to hear what you guys are doing with it. So thanks, everybody. We will see you next week on Your Reason to Stay Inside. Don't forget to make some music. All right, guys. See ya.
Such a kink of mine.